All right, so this is the newest episode of Pop the Balloon, episode 49, and I want to react to this young man whose faith made him more attractive. Mm-hmm. All right, let's check it out.
Our next single guy. Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Joel.
Joel, how old are you?
I'm 29.
And what do you do?
I work in professional sports and I do a little bit of real estate investing.
Okay, very nice. What are some things you like to do for fun?
For fun, let's see, I love to laugh, love to travel. I like competition, so anything like competitive. Working out, I like to try new foods, spend time with family and friends.
Okay, and now what are some things you look for in a woman?
Definitely a woman of God, for sure.
Come on,
I like
somebody.
a humble woman. I like a woman who likes to have fun. I love to laugh, and make people smile. So I think I want to look for a twin in that regard.
Okay, now what are some deal breakers?
Deal breakers, kids.
Okay.
I don't have any myself. Bad hygiene, for sure. And I'd say that's the main two.
Okay, all right.
Real quick, I've seen a lot of Instagram profiles where people put man of God or I'm a woman of God. Mm-hmm. Right? What is a woman of God in your opinion? What does that mean? Because I feel like it's being used potentially very frivolously.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you think you're a woman of God and then you get challenged. And so I know that because personally, in the area of love, I was a woman of God, but I did not give that area to God at that time. And so it's just like, oh, I go to church now, I want a Christian, but I was willing to compromise for some things. And I think a woman of God, it puts God first no matter what. So, and same with the man of God, you put God first no matter what. And you let God make the decision. So if God shows you some signs that this person is not for you, are you going to stay or are you going to walk away?
I like that. I agree. I think to be a man of God or a woman of God, in our case, the God that we're referring to is Yahweh. And we believe in Jesus. I believe what that means really is to be a follower of Christ.
Yeah.
And to put your faith and your trust in him in, like you said, all areas of your life. And in this context, you know, when it comes to your relationships and the person you're pursuing as a potential marriage partner, I think it shows up in that how you present yourself. It's what you do when no one's looking, not just what you show on Instagram, not just what you show on TikTok, not just what you show when you walk into the church building, but what are you doing when no one but God can see? And not just that, not just how you're living when no one can see, but is the fruit of God's presence, God living in you, is the fruit of that evident in the way that you live, both in the public eye and in your time alone.
I feel like God has to be your true love. Like, you know what I mean? You're my true love. Like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to compromise things that I know upset you or hurt you. Yeah. And it's like, are you going to do that for God? Are you going to compromise? Are you going to, is your true love getting your whole attention? Are you willing to make him happy over someone else? Like, it's the sacrifice for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Sounds good. So we have not got any pop balloons yet. So let me hand you a pick.
They're all really pretty.
There you go. And there aren't too many ladies today. So let's go ahead and have you pop two balloons. Two balloons whenever you're ready. Okay. And then one more. All right. Let's start with the first one here. Your name and age.
Diamond, 28.
And Diamond, why'd you have your balloon unpopped?
I had my balloon unpopped because I wanted to ask him a question about the earrings and see why he had, that type of earrings, or is that always your style, or, but originally I was wanting to pop, but I just wanted to kind of, people can always change up their style. So that the earrings things was not really a thing I was interested in. So I just wanted to keep it unpopped to ask you a question about, do you change your style and everything like that? So. Yeah.
Got it. And now why'd you end up popping her balloon?
No specific reason. Obviously, first initial attraction, I found other ladies more my type.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thank you.
The earrings?
Yeah. But honestly, I feel like I've noticed a pattern in this show. Like, she got her balloon popped. She's going to find something. She's not going to just be like, oh, I was attracted to him and I want to ask him more questions. It was more like I have to find something I don't like. I've noticed that pattern.
So you think it's a pride thing?
I do. And I could be wrong, but I just kind of get that vibe.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's hard being rejected, and I do see that as well. That sometimes people get rejected, and then they find something trivial or superficial.
Because if he picked her, I don't think she would have even cared about them doggone earrings.
Yeah, and she kind of said that, but this is interesting.
She's a beautiful young woman, but I think she had to find something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now you did pop one more. Your name and age.
Ane, 29.
All right. Ane, why'd you have your balloon unpopped?
Definitely want to hear him out as well. He seems like he presents himself very well, so I was just listening.
Thank you.
All right. And why'd you end up popping hers?
Same reason, just looking at the lineup.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. Let's head on back. We've got 4 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them a question.
Okay, if I was to ask your best friend to describe you in 3 words, what 3 words would she use?
Okay, let's start there and come back. All right, your name and age, and what 3 words would your best friend use to describe you?
Yes. Jessica, 27. 3 words that my best friend would use to describe me would be funny, goofy, and intelligent.
Okay.
All right. Over here, your name and age, and the answer to his question.
Jabria, 29. 3 words that my friend would use. I would say adventurous, funny, and let's see, maybe empathetic. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
And over here, name and age, and answer to his question.
Hi, I'm Kishwan and I'm 30. My friends would definitely say that I'm hilarious. I love to make people laugh. So that's when you said that, I was like, oh, I like that. So we're going to be laughing all the time. So I love to make people laugh. That I'm very athletic because I do personal training on the side.
Nice.
So I love talking about fitness. Another thing that they would say about me is that probably that I'm a daredevil because I've gone skydiving, snowboarding, ziplining. I've done it all. Yeah, I love to have fun and try new things. So I'm not scared to get my hair wet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like roller coasters?
Yes! Let's go to Six Flags. Sorry, I got excited.
All right, thank you. Your name and age, and answer to his question.
I'm Kyla, I'm 26, and my friends would say I'm silly, goofy, and deep. I'm like very intimate. I like having deep conversations. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
So, what about for yourself? What 3 things would your friends use to describe you?
Definitely funny. I would say kind, and then probably positive. Like I just like to radiate good vibes, good energy.
Okay, sounds good. So I am going to have you pop 1 balloon. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and pop 1.
It's tough.
I know, it's tough. All right, start over here. So Jabria, why'd you have your balloon unpopped?
He seemed to have a lot in common with me. He talked about being competitive. I'm very competitive. I like to do competitive events. I've done 2 Spartan races. I'm athletic. I'm in the Army. I have my certified personal training, my master fitness instructor. So we just had a lot in common.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So why'd you end up popping hers? Don't use that same line as before.
No.
Okay.
No, she had great answers. I think I just resonated more with the other ones. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Do you feel like, because I feel like the way he's rejecting these women is really gracious, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, don't use the same line as before. So it's kind of like, this show is kind of trying to make you say some.
Yeah, but also to get a little deeper. I don't know. I don't see her being like real, like shady like that. So she might be trying to spice things up, but I think she's like, hey, no, tell me like really why you didn't care for this particular girl. I think it helps the other girls know what he's looking for or whatever.
But how can you go deeper?
Off the little bit of information that was provided. It's true. It's going to be superficial still because he doesn't know much about her.
Yeah,
but she seemed very meek and quiet. So maybe he's looking for someone more outgoing.
I think that might be one of the challenges with the show, is that you have to give superficial answers somewhat because
you don't know these people.
And you don't get, especially when you're the one getting your balloon popped, the only information you really have is what he says in the beginning about what he's looking for.
Right, exactly.
And a little bit about who he is. And so I mean, I think that's also why you want to keep your balloon unpopped because
For longer.
Yeah, because you want to be able to make an informed decision rather than just go off, appearances.
Yeah.
I'll just say, speaking as a man, when you see the lineup, if there's somebody you interested in,
Okay, and that might be what it is.
Like,
You might
as far as
know.
physical attraction, it's like you can see that one and you don't see none of the other ones, and it's not even like
There's anything wrong with
them.
It's just you connected
like
with that
you
one.
see that one. There's that physical spark, and,
That might be what it is.
and then also I guess that's the challenge though, because the show is. I mean, we know that physical appearance isn't enough to pick a partner, right? And so, as a man, you gotta like suppress that physical attraction piece initially, and because like I said, you can pull the baddest one, and she can be a
Hell on
headache,
earth.
a headache, right? And so, no one wants a headache, right?
True.
So, but yeah, I think I agree with you about her asking him to go deeper, but I think it might be hard when it's just nothing other than physical attraction.
True.
So, also he said he's looking for a woman of God, and I seen that none of the women popped off of that.
Yes, I noticed that. They also didn't pop off for kids,
Yeah,
which is a very interesting experience that none of them have children.
yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Okay, so we do have 3 ladies now left. Go ahead and ask them another question.
If a movie was made about your life, what would it be called, and who would play as you?
Okay, that's a tough one. They're all thinking. I know. You ready?
No. Can I not play myself?
No, you gotta have like an actress, like someone maybe that you looked up
Good
to,
question.
or a favorite actress or celebrity that you would see playing yourself.
I would want Solange Knowles to play me.
There you go. Okay.
Is there a reason, Solange?
I just love her. I think she does her own thing. And what would the movie be? Is that
Like, what would the title be? Based on your life.
I feel like my ghetto fabulous life.
I think a better question would be, what genre movie would it be? That's probably a little easier.
like a rom-com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's go over here.
Okay, so I love horror films. And zombie movies are my thing. I love zombie movies, so it'd be a zombie movie for sure. Probably Life of a Zombie, and then I guess the person that would have to play me would be, what's that woman's name from Scary Movie? Brenda. She played Brenda.
Regina Hall.
Yes, Regina Hall, yes.
Okay.
I think she'd be perfect to play it. Yeah.
She's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. And then our last lady over here. Let's hear from you.
Yes. So Keke Palmer, I absolutely love her. A lot of people compare me to her because of our personalities.
Okay.
And so the title of my movie will be called Unbroken and Resilient, because I have been through a lot in life, just as far as navigating my life. And so I think Keke Palmer will capture that essence in me. And just us, again, sharing the same type of personalities, I would love to see her bring my life to the camera. And so I would definitely, that would be it.
Did you see the new movie that she was in?
I have not seen it yet. I'm sorry, Keke Palmer. I am so sorry, girl.
That was a good movie.
I haven't either.
You know you my girl, though.
Thank you. Okay, it is time to pop one balloon out of these 3 beautiful ladies. All right, so why'd you have your balloon unpopped?
I thought we had a lot in common. He's very handsome, well-spoken, and I
Thank
love
you.
that he's athletic. You don't see a lot of athletic men nowadays that are actually they're actually trying to find love. So yeah, that's why.
All right.
I feel like it was the zombie thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
He
He went with
he
the
looking
zombie.
for a woman of God, and you looking, I think the zombie thing kind of
Like the horror movie was like,
It's like, he probably don't even watch horror movies. It's probably not his thing. I know. Me, I'm real sensitive to that stuff too.
I do not
don't
like
do scary
anything
movies. I don't do
scary.
horror movies. That is not my thing.
thrillers
So,
as close as you'll get.
so yeah, I think that was what
Yeah.
threw him off on that
Yeah.
that question.
Righty, we've got 2 ladies left. Ladies, any questions for our guy here? Oh, let's start down there. We'll come back. All right.
Yes, I just wanted to know, I'm really big on believing in God, and I was just wondering where do you stand with that as far as relationship wise? I'm not talking about religion because I know people get the confusion. I do want to make sure I clarify.
Thank you.
Where is your relationship with God, or do you have one?
Yeah, I have a very strong relationship with God. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christ follower. I go to church every Sunday. I pray daily. I grew up in the church. My family's Nigerian, so yeah, we're big on faith, and that's always stuck with me. So definitely.
Okay.
I like what I heard.
All right. We'll be back. Let's go down over here. So I know you had a question ready.
I had the exact same question.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Come on, somebody.
That's what I'm talking about.
Two women of God, right? That made my heart happy.
Yes, because those were their actual questions. That's the first question they asked. So tell us more about their relationship with God. And she was like, "Don't say religion." And I was like, "Yes, girl." She was like, "Tell me about your relationship with God." And that hit. Ooh, that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, that was dope.
That's what you were talking about at the beginning, like woman of God, man of God. You know what I mean? And that's a prime example right here. That made me feel so good.
And I think it's important that we talk about the difference, right? Because she said, what is your relationship with God? Don't tell me about your religion.
Exactly.
Tell me about your relationship with God.
love
And that
that.
was a revealing question because when you're looking for a marriage partner, just somebody going to church, that's not enough to check that person off.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the checkbox. That doesn't meet the criteria for
Exactly.
if this is a person who genuinely is following God. Like I grew up in the church. And I was not a Christian for the majority of time I was in the
Exactly.
church. I was there because my family made me go. I was there because, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't, it was evident in the way that I lived my life that I was not a follower of Christ. So just because I went to church, I believed certain things. What was I doing after church? I was in the club. I was partying. I was fornicating. I was doing drugs. I was getting drunk, right? And you, knowing me at that time, would not date me because I was religious, but I had no relationship. And you could see it in my life. And it's so important for, as advice that we give to like singles and people maybe who are thinking about getting married is like, listen, like just because that person goes to church with you or even you trying to get that person to go to church with you isn't going to make you guys equally yoked. Right. Equally yoked means that you both are yoked to Christ by your own personal decision and choice, not because someone made you do it, not because you pressure your partner to go to church, you pressure them. Like they have to come to their own decision of faith, their own decision of belief, and they have to voluntarily choose to submit their lives to Christ. And it's only until the two of you do that individually that you're equally yoked.
Exactly.
It's not going to church. It's
about the relationship.
It's about
with
the
God. 'Cause
relationship.
If you remember, I was getting on you when we first got together, and you were finding Christ. This is when you started your Christian journey. We weren't going to church all the time. You wanted to stay home and do Bible study. You wanted to stay home and rest. You wanted to stay home and relish in the Sabbath and having a relationship with God. You were going to church more when you was clubbing on Friday night and being wild than after. So it's not about church. Because church is a body of believers anyway, and not just a building.
Right.
And so when 2 or 3 are gathered, let's be for real, that's church. You know what I mean? So it's not about this ritual, like going to work, going to church. It's about, like you said, the relationship. Even if you don't go to church, like our pastor said that this week, like this should not be where you should be getting a word or getting filled. You should be filled all week long, and this is the finale to that. Or this is the place where you're pouring out in others from where you've been filled all week long.
Absolutely. And if you're going to church and you're not being filled with the Spirit, you're not being filled with Christ, then you have nothing to give. And you may be, I'll just say for myself, going to church before I had a relationship with Christ, I was looking for joints. I was looking for women. Like I was scheming, I was plotting. I'm like, yo, who, and I wasn't scheming and plotting for a wife. I was scheming and plotting for my personal pleasure. Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm not saying you can't find a woman in the church, but if you're going to church and you're looking for someone to sleep with,
right? What's the motive?
You're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
It's about the motive,
right?
And only relationship with God is going to tell what the motive is.
Absolutely. So, man, I was so happy that she asked that.
And
Man.
then the second one followed up like, yeah, I want to know too.
Man. So he asked for a woman of God,
And he got two.
and he got two. Man, look at that.
Yeah.
That's the favor of God.
Yeah.
No other questions?
The question.
Questions, okay.
I like also, she said no other questions. Like when she heard that response he gave to that question, that was like, man, that's what I'm looking for. And I think it's important too. Like when you're looking for a spouse as a believer, like you know what you're looking for and you can discern, right? Like he could have gave a certain response like, yeah, I go to church, or he could have given a response that you could tell he was like iffy, like he wasn't really, but his response was strong. It was convicting. It was articulate. It was
Real.
It was real, right? And once you hear that, a real one gonna say, yeah, that's a real answer.
Right.
And
No further questions.
No further questions. And it shows what she was looking for. Like she's not on the show looking for, a good time either. Like she's looking for a man that's following God.
Yeah.
Because she's following God.
Yes.
So I think that was dope.
Do you have a final question to ask them, or are you ready to pop?
If we saw each other out at a restaurant or bar, how would you flirt with me? How would you let me know you're interested?
All right. How would you let him know you're interested?
Honestly, not too much. I maybe would just like a longer eye contact, a little smile, very subtle.
Not a wink.
No winks from me, unfortunately.
Okay.
No.
So you would just look at him a little
A
longer.
little smile, a little,
Respect.
Yeah.
Let's go here. All right. How would you let him know you're interested?
I'm going to be transparent. I used to be someone that didn't feel comfortable approaching men in the past. But as I've gotten older and been able to approach men, I've just found that just being myself, walking up, hi, how you doing? Just giving you a compliment. I would give you a compliment because I do think you're handsome.
Thank you.
And just go ahead and just strike a conversation, see what your intelligence and mind is about. Because yes, while the exterior looks good, I do like to know what the interior is like. I'm like, okay, he looks good on the outside, but what does he have going on in his mind? What type of conversations can we have? Can we have deep conversations? And so that's something that I would start off with, a compliment and then getting into a conversation.
So you would approach me?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Okay. Time to make the tough decision. You do got to pop a balloon. All right. So why did you have your balloon unpopped?
I found him handsome and I liked the things that he was saying.
Okay. And why'd you end up popping hers? That's always tough. I know.
Truthfully, it was tough. Great young lady. Definitely have a lot in common. I think I was just more attracted to her.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go up to our young lady over here. So I'll have you stand on this side of me. I'll have you come up here with us.
So real quick, I don't know how he feels about it. I know men, we like to chase.
And so when the other woman said she would come up to him.
That's not enough to say no, but
Also culturally, he said he's African, and like friends that I know, and like being someone who has studied various cultures and the importance of culture, there is that like that same thing. A man wants to feel like a man in his culture, and so being approached by a woman or being, addressed in a certain way by a woman may not be as appealing to him.
right, just like
Traditionally,
just like as a man, as an African American man in my culture, I don't really vibe with a woman proposing to me. Like I would not rock with that. You know, and that's just my personal preference, right? I think it's in the same vein of, when the first young lady says she would, give like a subtle smile. Like to me, that shows that you're not like a forward woman. Like you're very, you know what I'm saying? Like you're very classy. You're very, you're not looking to be thirsty and go after these men. Like the man has to come to you. Yeah. And I personally, this is just a Charles thing. Personally appreciate that. Like when I met you, I had to go to you. You didn't come to me. So
that's true.
Right.
But to speak on the other young woman, I can see where she was in life and where she is. And I think her response just showed growth and confidence. She might have had low self-esteem before, had been through a lot, and now she's showing a confident side of her. So I hope she is rewarded in that, because it shows that she's overcome something. Yeah. And she may not be for this gentleman, but like, I still applaud her for saying that, because it just shows that now she's confident in who she is. And maybe she's seeing herself as a woman of God, seeing herself the way Christ sees her, and she's stronger because of it. So I still applaud her for that.
Yeah, I get that. But the Bible does say when a man finds a wife. You hear that, chat? When a man finds a wife. Not when a woman finds a husband.
That's true. But she could walk up to him and start a conversation and not be anything more. You know what I mean?
You're really going to just drag this?
I'm just,
okay. All right.
I'm done.
Let's keep going.
Any final question between the two of you? If you don't have one, that's okay as well.
I have one. Where do you live?
I live in Atlanta.
Okay.
And where are you?
I'm from Detroit. I live in Detroit.
Okay. Okay.
Midwest girl. Okay. I'm originally from Chicago.
And what do you do again? I'm sorry.
I work in professional sports and I do real estate investing.
Okay.
You good?
What do you do?
I do real estate development for a nonprofit.
Nice.
Oh.
Look at that.
Look at God. Okay.
Hey, what's for you is for you.
Yeah, they might start a business together.
I do hope, what I'm seeing here, I hope they stick it out, because, you see some of these and they seem like a match. We can only judge what we see as well.
Right.
We don't know these people if they're really who they say they are. But I do hope that they are who they say they are, and that when they, they do some kind of because they do like where are they now type videos. I'm hoping to hear that.
I would like to see that.
I'm hoping to see that if they just decide to say yes here, that they
stick it out.
Stick it out. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me ask my question then. Okay. Is it going to be a yes for you for him?
It's a yes.
Okay. And is it a yes for you for her?
It's a yes for me.
We got a match.
Hey.
I'll take the mic. And you guys can go on off, make some noise for them, ladies.